Good morning, everybody out there. Welcome to Up for the Argument, today's leading podcast in sports talk. Thank you once again for getting up with me on this Sunday morning and joining me for this. What an interesting weekend of football has it been for the wild card playoffs to be getting underway, and I'm so excited about that. On today's show, we're going to talk about the Cowboys. We're going to talk about the Packers. We're going to talk about Draymond Green. We're going to talk about who's the best quarterback in the NFL today. We're also going to talk about... We're going to recap these games from last night, too. But first off, let's start off with the first game yesterday. The Houston Texans defeat the Cleveland Browns 45-14. Despite a 307-yard, 34 for 36, 1 touchdown, 2 interception game by Joe Flacco. C.J. Stroud, 16 for 21, 274, 3 touchdowns. I'm going to say this. I'm going to predicate my comment, and I don't want people to get this mistaken when I say this. Okay. C.J. Stroud is not a rookie. He's been here before. Watching him play, I said that to myself, this guy's been here before. He is not afraid of anything. Actually, he plays like he doesn't even know the situation he's in. Now, he said like he's been there millions of times before. He beat a seasoned vet, Super Bowl championship quarterback, and made him look like poo yesterday. C.J. Stroud, not to mention the defense played a big game, had a lot of good takeaways and a couple scores defense. But for him to play the way he played yesterday and to advance, I said this way this team looks. And you know, any given Sunday, right? But the way this team looked yesterday, it looked like they was ready to take home the Lombardi. I'm not going to say that's not going to happen or what's going to happen because, you know, football is very unpredictable. All I can do is give you my take on how they're playing and the stats and things that's going on and what I think my opinion is. But who knows? I could be wrong or I could be right. But, yeah, well, this happened. But that game yesterday was just a blowout. It wasn't even close. I seen that the Browns didn't want to win. They didn't come to play. And plus, it's hard when you're on the road to win playoff games. It's just that simple. When you are coming into a situation where these guys are young and they're crunk and they're hype and they're ready to show the world who they are, they've got a young Joe Montana back there throwing the football because that's what he looks like. You know what I'm saying? So you got to deal with that type of stuff. You know, you got to be ready for this type of situation. You got to be able to pull something out of you that you knew you had. But Joe Flacco, he had his day. And quite frankly, he came back too late to where, you know, he was doing okay, but teams will figure out what he's doing. So, yeah, we'll get into that one here in a minute because there's really no debate about that. You know, C.J. Stroud is a special player. As far as I'm concerned, he's very special. He is nobody to go to sleep on. You say, oh, he's a rookie, he doesn't know this, he doesn't know that, but that ain't what his soul told him. But the boy played like he got an old soul. And Joe Flacco, I hate to say it, guys like that, they come in and do what they can. But if your team ain't playing hard for you, like, really, he's throwing balls to guys that's dropping balls. He's throwing balls a little low, but they could catch them. He had a couple good passes, a couple good plays, but, I mean, overall, that Texans team is coming. Okay? Now, you got to think, now in Texas, you got two teams that's coming. You got the Texans and you got the Cowboys. Now, wouldn't it be something if the Cowboys somehow made it on the NFC and the Texans made it on the AFC? Wouldn't that be weird but cool at the same time? I think so. The Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Miami Dolphins yesterday, 26-7. 26-7, despite Tua and Hill's onslaught lately. You know what I'm saying? They've been playing together for years. And they really got a good connection, but you can't just throw the ball in the air every time you want to play certain teams. Teams get ready for that type of stuff. You know, I wouldn't get into the stats yesterday, but Mahomes, he did a good job with his legs. He did a good job with his arm. Kelsey made a good big catch, passes and stuff. Caught a couple good passes. Caught a couple good ones. Total blowout. 14 minutes football, and you got a blowout. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you this much: Patrick Mahomes is like they're coming. It's like they're coming to the big dance. So now we have the Texans advancing, eliminating those guys over there in Cleveland, and we have the Kansas City Chiefs advancing. It's like clockwork. We knew Andy Reid would get things together, and Dolphins and Hill, coming into a place you used to play for. Those guys got a point to prove. You think you this and that, and so did Hill, but you can't beat an entire team by yourself, big dog. I'm just telling you that now. It's going to be kind of hard to do here. Today we have the Packers versus the Cowboys. I have a dog in this fight because I am a Packer fan. Now, I'm not going to be biased. I want us to win. We got the tools to win, yes. Are the Packers good enough to win? Yeah. Are they good enough to give them a good fight if they do lose? Yeah. But I'm not planning on seeing the Packers lose today. I don't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'm going to upset the sports world. I'm going to call it upset. The Green Bay Packers are going to go into Dallas today and defeat the Dallas Cowboys. Do I have a point spread? No, it might be about 3 points. Might be by a touchdown. But I believe that it's going to be down to the wire. Packers come out on top. Packers come out on top. And there's no indignation against Dak. Now, we do know Dak is MVP front runner. Dak is good. Dak is the best player on that team. But if something tells me that the Packers are going to score, and the Packers are going to score again and keep scoring the football until they beat them. It's not going to be a defensive game. It's going to be a score versus score who get the ball last. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen today. I'm not just hoping it happen. I know that's going to happen. I watch the Cowboys when they win. They're due for a loss. And they play on a team that's good enough to beat them. Put them in a very big blender here. Jordan Love, he's been playing lights out. And the team wants to see Jordan do good. And we are Cowboy killers. Everybody knows that it's a curse with Green Bay. Now, if Packers beat us today, if the Cowboys beat the Packers, that's us, not the Cowboys. Excuse me, not a Cowboy fan. If they beat the Cowboys, then we go forth in the playoffs, and we might go farther than you think. But I'm not going to overstuff that. But if the Cowboys win, then they deserve to keep going forward till they meet them big boys in San Francisco. So, did the Cowboys prove that they're the best team in the NFC? No, they didn't prove they're the best team in the NFC. By last week. No, they didn't. Not by my standards in no way. They just proved they got a hell of a good quarterback. And then when they do get going, they run up. Depends on who they're playing against. Now, if they can do that, if they get going against us today with that offensive front run, then I'm just going to cut TV off. It's over. That's what they do best. They front run and force you to throw. Because if you're behind, you're not going to be running the ball, right? And if you're behind, you're going to do that. You're going to gun, or maybe under the single back formation. You have to put it in there. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not trying to say this, that, but I do know this, that the Cowboys want you to put it in there. You dig? But they're not the best team in the NFC. And I don't know who is. Maybe it's the guy sitting up at the number 1 seed. Thank you very much. The 49ers are the best team in the NFC. Why I ask the question is the Cowboys prove that they're the best team in the NFC. What's the best quarterback in the NFL today? We're going to go with this. Now, I'm not going to say Dak because he's front running. I'm not going to say Patrick Mahomes because he's Patrick Mahomes. The best quarterback in the NFL today is C.J. Stroud. And why C.J. Stroud has to throw a package? He's throwing for 500 yards a game. He's throwing, his stats speak for itself. His touchdown to interception ratio is unpredictable. Not unpredictable, off the rip, because he throws way more touchdowns to very little. He's leading that in all quarterbacks when it comes to touchdown quarterback efficiency. Touchdowns to interceptions is something. So my answer would be that. So we already went with who won today, right? So we're going to also get into this game right now. We're going to recap those two, right? So we did the difference between Mahomes and Tua. So, Belichick's legacy. Belichick got fired this week. Not fired. Well, they say he stepped down, but he really got fired. This is a nice way of saying it. Step down, you know. He has a legacy. His legacy ain't just the Packers. Ain't just the Patriots, by the way. It's New York Giant defense. You understand that? Things he did to get that Super Bowl. People ain't looking at that. He wanted Brady to develop. He put him in at the right time. He did a good job with that team. He did a good job of disciplining that team. He did a good job of disciplining, winning Super Bowls. Tom proved that without him, he can get there, but he can't. His success rate ain't that good without him. What I mean by that is, yeah, he went to Tampa Bay, a loaded team, won a Super Bowl. Didn't win another one, did he? Okay. And like I say, you know, we can say that as beginner's luck or whatever, but I'm always going to say this here. Peanut butter ain't good without jelly. Peanut butter is good by itself, and jelly is too. And it's so it helps a lot of other purposes, see. But those two are peanut butter and jelly. You know, you break that up, you break up something that's very efficient. And I'm quite sure if Gronk would have went there, Tom would have won that Super Bowl. So we can't say Tom proved that Belichick's done without him and all that. No. There's no way you can take anything from that coach, because coaching is very important in football. And Belichick deserves his flowers. Even though he's an asshole. He deserves his flowers. Okay? God. Now is the Draymond Green, the Mike Rivera I'm recording. Mike Rivera situation. Did Mike Rivera deserve to get fired? Yeah, he deserved. Did Mike Rivera deserve to get fired? He did. You can't recreate that what you had in Carolina was a decline after you lost Cam. And there's no that's arguable. You get to this team and you still suck. You don't bring in the right people and you don't make the right coaching decisions to win games and to be back on the level you were when you were in Carolina. So, yeah, he deserves to get fired. I'm glad he's gone. With that being said, we're getting into the NFL right now. Did Draymond Green, and I'm going to say this, humble himself? I think he hasn't. He's talking about retiring. He's cocky. He thinks that it's okay to do the things he's doing here. He feels like, oh, well, I'm going to retire now. You know, I suck. Hey, I can't play good when Steph ain't playing and all that type of stuff. Yeah, he isn't humbled himself. I think he needs to be gone. He should have been gone when he hit that young boy in the face last season. For the final question, is Jordan Love the new face of the Packers? In my opinion, he's the face of the Packers now. So, I mean, he's been with the Packers for years, waiting on Aaron Rodgers to go bye-bye. If they wanted to replace, they'd have been got another quarterback. So, in my opinion, yes, he is the face of the Packers until the Packers say otherwise. All right, folks, I'm going to cut the segment short here and see if we can come back a little later after these games today. We got a couple exciting games today, and I want to be paying attention to that Cowboy-Packer game, and we'll let you know what's going on after that. And folks, thanks for tuning in to another exciting episode of Up for the Argument. I'm about to watch some football. Thanks, folks.